what, and have some fun. And I'm telling you, so the word is, so the, Hi everyone, welcome to Question and Answer Fridays. So last week I posted a question in my Facebook group and I asked, how many hours a week of exercise do you think is required in order to create a fit body of health? So most people have this myopic assumption that getting into great shape and staying in shape requires many hours of exercise a week, along with rigid dietary guidelines. And you know what? This couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, a minimalistic approach to exercise, along with a flexible nutritional plan, can in fact be very effective and sometimes even better than what traditionally people do. So I'm going to share with you an example in order to prove this point. And I'm telling you, your mind is going to be blown. Mine was. So this is an experiment that John Berardi did with one of his clients. Now, who is John Berardi? John Berardi is the founder of Precision Nutrition. And he had a client, her name is Marcia, who was looking to basically get into the best shape of her life. She wanted to become the leanest she's ever been in her life, and of course, improve her strength and her level of fitness. Now, here's the thing. Marcia is a super busy woman. Marcia works 2 jobs, she's involved with all sorts of activities, and she was also planning a wedding. And she likes to go out, she likes to have fun with her friends. In other words, Marcia has a life. So she didn't want to necessarily spend a lot of time working out. So this is what happened. John Berardi took it upon himself to experiment with this client and see if he could put together a very minimalistic exercise plan and flexible nutritional plan in order to have Marcia achieve her goals. Now, these were the results. At the end of 4 months, so 16 weeks, Marcia went from 150 pounds to 130 pounds. But here's the crazy thing. Marcia only did 8 hours and 32 minutes of exercise in that 16-week time frame. That equals to 2.5 pounds of fat lost for each hour of exercise. Mind blown. Mind blown. She only did 4 workouts a week for a total of 32 minutes of exercise a week. So what do these workouts look like? Well, she did 2 sprint sessions a week at 6 minutes each and 2 circuit training sessions a week at 10 minutes each. So what's important to note about her program is that it focused on her weaknesses and it was progressive. So what does this mean? It means that with each consecutive workout, she maybe added an extra rep or maybe use a little bit of a heavier weight. And for the sprinting workouts, this means maybe adding an extra repetition of sprints, increasing the speed, or increasing the incline if you're on a treadmill. And so she kept notes on her progression, and every 4 weeks they would recalibrate and change a couple of exercises in the program to keep her progressing and keep her getting fitter and fitter. And some of you might be thinking that, oh well, she was probably in, not so bad of shape when she first started. But this isn't true. She actually started off very weak and very deconditioned to the point where she couldn't actually complete any of the workouts in the first week. For example, she could only do 3 or 4 push-ups. But after 8 weeks of following this progressive program, she was able to pump out 20 push-ups. And then every 4 weeks, there was changes made to the exercise selection in the circuit training portion of the program so that she would get different muscle groups moving and getting stronger and different stimulation. And so besides the exercise swaps and the progressions she was making, nothing else really changed in her program for 16 weeks. The workouts themselves didn't get any longer. They just crammed more work into the time allotted. Progression is a very important point. She added a little bit more work every week, and this is crucial. And by the end of 16 weeks, she went from very weak and very deconditioned to fairly strong and fit. even John Berardi himself was really surprised by these results. So the takeaways to the exercise portion of the program are the following. So number one, John started her off easy and was very realistic with where she was at and what she was capable of. And then they worked on making consistent progress as the weeks went by. And of course, Marsha showed up. She was consistent. Now, it goes without saying that this program could not have worked alone. Of course, it takes a good nutritional approach as well. However, even with the nutritional approach, they kept things super simple. So here's what's really fun and interesting is that she was not given a very strict diet to follow. She was only given guidelines. And of course, that includes eating whole foods and staying away from refined, processed carbohydrates. So staying away from junk and sugar. And she ate 3 to 4 meals a day without the snacking in between. She was told to be aware and pay attention to her hunger. So what happens is when you're doing this sort of high intensity exercise, you may feel a little bit more hungry. So it's important to be aware of that and not overeat. But in fact, in her case, the exercise volume was so minimal that she really didn't have a problem with this. So there you have it. It is possible to get strong, lean, healthy, and fit with the minimal effective dose. Now, of course, it's important to understand that you need to be following a very well-designed, progressive program that is suited to you. And that means your starting point, your capabilities, your goals, your lifestyle. So if you're looking for the same thing from a training and nutrition plan, something you can do that'll get you into awesome shape while still having a life, then maybe it's time for you to start your own experiment with exercise minimalism. This is the approach I like to take. Find your own minimum effective dose of weekly exercise. Get out there, just stop obsessing over fitness and have some fun. Of course, if you need some help and some coaching on how to go about finding your minimum effective dose, give me a shout out. I would love to help you. Until next time, this was Q&A Friday.